Hello and welcome back to my channel, and we are continue here with the Walking Dead solo session. And I just add a picture to our main character Brandon, and I just created a character sheet as well for Anne, just in case if I need to use this. And for her, she has a knife as well, and she has a body armor, but actually it's not a full body armor. The the archetype suggests some kind of football gear, and I reduced the armor level. It was supposed to be 4, but I think that she is wearing only the helm, so I just put armor level 2 for her. So she's using football, um, American football helmet. And I gave her a teddy bear as well that she carries with her. And if she decides to use this, it gives to her +1 on wits and empathy rolls. Yeah, just create this item. So these are the characters, and I have now a city here. Um, I made this map for Mutant Year Zero, but in the end I didn't use it, so I decided to use this in the Walking Dead. Um, so I'm going to decide where we start. As I said, we were in vacation, and this city is totally new to us, meaning that we do not know anything about this city. We didn't explore anything. It's been a while since we have been moving from one place to another. So yeah, it's we do not have any reference. And our father, he is missing now 5 days. So we just need to move on because we are out of food and we need to do something. So first thing, where should we start? So I have 30, actually 30, yeah, 30 squares here, and I have about 18 here. So let me roll 1d30, and I have a 7 and a 1d18, and I have a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7. So this is going to be where I start. So here. So let me just place here. Here is where we start. Brandon is here, and we need to move forward with my sister to find a safe place. Usually the game states that we should start with a haven, a safe place already, where we could have some other PCs or NPCs to interact with, but I decide to start this without it, just to see if we can make it happen. If he dies, yeah, maybe I should start over and follow the suggestion of having a haven already in place in order to increase my survivability. I would say that they have some kind of rations. Do not know how much they have, but I would say maybe I could roll 1d3 rations. Let's roll 1d3. Oh, 2. Oh, actually 3. Yeah, I rolled 1d3 and I got 3. Okay, so I have 3 rations for 3 days. So this is what I have. I'm going to add here rations and close. Can I add number here of how many rations, or should I just do these 3 times? I have no clue. I'm still learning how to use these. So I would say that I have rations 3 times. So let me just edit this and put here 3 times. Okay, cool. So first thing, let's roll something already. Let's roll for the weather and see how the weather is. So number 1, say it's raining, snow, or fog. So let's try to set this here and put some rain. So it's raining. Uh, but there is no reason to stay here. I would say that it's raining for a while, for some few days, and yeah, we need to leave. Just going to add here um, that this is our starting point. We left the house, and before moving on to another hex, I would play in this, not hex, but square. I would play in this square first, and I would use already some oracles. The first thing that I will use is the threat level. And the threat level in this game is basically to show us um, how danger is outside as far as walkers are concerned. So I'm going to roll and let's see. So I have a threat level of 1. Yeah, threat level 1. There are walkers around, but they have not noticed you. You might suffer a single walker attack if you mess up a skill test. Okay, I do not have any stress yet, and we just mess up our rolls if we roll a 1 on a stress die. And we add stress die to our pool if we decide to push our rolls, or if something bad happens that could add stress to us. So let's see. But threat level 1 means that we have some walkers outside. So can I see these walkers? And for that, I will roll first a scout roll just to see if I can see them. So let's roll. And I do not succeed in it. I can push it, and then I would add a 1 stress die. And I imagine that Brandon just exited I would say the building that they are, and he looks to the street, and it's raining. It's really difficult to see in a long distance, and he doesn't see anything, but he's really afraid. So he checked this and tried to see to make sure that he can move on. So I'm going to push this roll, and I failed, meaning that I don't see any walker outside. But we know as a GM that there are some walkers outside. But nevertheless, I think that Brenda would decide to go stealthily in order to do not be noticed. So I'm going to roll stealth. Okay. And I have 1 success, and I already mess up. Meaning that I could, in fact, actually move stealthily, but something bad happens. And let's see, here I have some tables for it. There are some solo mess up table, so I'm going to roll just to see if we can use this result. And the result is a new faction is revealed, or an existing faction suddenly shows up. Okay, Brandon does not know any faction at this moment. So I would say that we move stealthily. No walkers can seize us, but a faction approach this square, and let's see who they are. So I do have actually another faction table here, and I'm going to roll. It's not perfect, but the faction is about 16 to 20 members. Everybody has a say. Perhaps they vote about important decisions. Perhaps they fight about it. They look for protection. It could be to find a better haven, to defend their haven from intruders, to find more weapons, or to kill or open interfere. This is what they need. This is the group type. I should have labeled it. So they are a group that existed before the outbreak, perhaps a family or a group of police officers or scientists. In many ways, they act like the world is just the same as it was before. Okay. They have gear, a radio, night vision goggles, a helicopter, or a tank. Okay. Wants to destroy the world completely to be reborn into a paradise. Okay, this is the issue. And they have a well-defended bunker with +1 capacity and 4 defense. So I think they are some kind of, I would say, a military group. And they seek now, they needs protection. But I would say that what Brandon sees is a huge tank. And of course there are maybe just few people inside. Brandon does not see it, and as he succeeds in the stealth check, I would say that he's able to hide, but he sees this huge tank moving through the streets, and the walkers, they notice this tank, and they just walk to its direction. And Brandon is, I wouldn't say that he is in fear, but I don't think that he would stay there for more time. So he just decides to move on. We can move to another hex. I'm going to use the look oracle and ask, does Brandon knows or have any clue of where his father could have gone? And let me just roll in this table, actually like this. And the answer is extremely no. So he has no idea. So as I have more map to this direction, I think that I'm going to move Brandon to the south. So I'm going to move here to this direction. And when we move to another hex, the first thing that we need to do is to check if we have an encounter. And if this is a new hex, as it is, I need to roll 2d6s and keep the highest number. If I roll a 6, it means that I have an encounter. So let's roll 2d6. And I do not have a 6, I have a 4 and a 2, so it's okay, no encounter. But what is this hex? What can I see here? So let me roll in the runes table. And there is an empty church. The inside walls are covered by spray painted words about God abandoning us. So I think that Brandon sees this church as a safe place. I didn't roll the threat level. Let me roll the threat level to see how it is. And it's still 1, meaning that we have walkers in this area. So there is no encounter, but there are walkers. So Brandon needs to roll a scout to see if he can see the walkers. And he failed. I can push again to see if I can see them. And I have 1 success. Great, but now I have 2 stress. So Brandon sees some walkers. They are far at this moment, so he decides to move to this church stealthily. And let's see. And he has 2 successes, meaning that he can not only move successfully without being noticed, but he is even able to block the door of this church to avoid that any walker could just walk in. So he feels safe in this place. Um, I would say that Annie could be a little bit afraid, so he spends some time with her, trying to calm her down, saying that everything is going to be okay. But he's going to search this place to see if he can find something useful for them. So for that, I'm going to roll a survival check. Let's see if I can find something. Oh man, and I mess up. Okay, let's roll the mess up table to see what happened. And alert a nearby swarm by making noise. Raise threat level one step. So the threat level was 1, but now I can write down here that the threat level is equal to. So I think that as soon as Brendan, I think that he spent some times there with her, with his sister, but then he decides to look for something useful, and for some reason he does some kind of noise. Maybe something fell down, or maybe old, or I would say maybe old wall just collapsed, and yeah, making a huge noise, and it brings the attention of the swarm nearby. And I think that Brandon sees through a hole in the wall, maybe, or through a window, that the walkers are coming to his direction. He needs to find a way to distract these walkers. So they start coming, and he walks to her sister, and I think that he tries to. Is this a small church? I would say, is there any second floor? I do not know. Let me ask to the oracle. Is there a second floor? No, there isn't. So I would say it's a really small church, only one floor, and there is no place to hide. Maybe there is, but they cannot go to a higher ground or something like this. So they need to do something. I would assume that that might have a chance that we find another exit. It's a small church, but maybe it's just one floor, but they might have some kind of back door. And as the noise came from one place, um, maybe the walkers are going to this direction, and he could try to leave from another direction. So I would actually give these a chance to see if we have or not a possibility to leave from another from a backdoor, for instance, to a survival roll. Uh, Although a survival roll could mess up stuff even worse. So yeah, but let's see if he can try finds if he can find an exit. Let's roll. One success. Great. So Brandon is capable of finding maybe a back door, and he says, "And come, let's let's move. They didn't see us yet, so we can leave." And it comes with him, and he needs to try to move in stealth. So let's see if he can move without making any noise. Oh man, he can, but we mess up. And as we have walkers nearby, I would say that he could suffer an attack, maybe from another walker that was nearby too, and he wasn't able to see it. So a single walker attack can be avoided by any skill that I could choose from. I just need to figure out how I use this skill to avoid the walker. In this case, I'm going to use mobility, and because I think that Brandon is a really fast guy, and he would be able to just maybe avoid, dodge the attack, and try to maybe um, use his knife against it. Um, so this is what I think that he would try to do. He would move fast, dodging the walker, and yeah, hitting it with the knife, maybe in its head, to kill it immediately. And let's see if I have a success. Yes, I do, but I mess up as well. But I have two successes. Um, so I could say that with this mess up, maybe I could just roll to see what happens. So solo mess up. Let's roll and see the results. Run out of resources, bullet, gas, spare parts, or etc. So I already have an idea. So Brandon, he just dodged the attack of the walker, and he just used his knife, but his knife gets stuck in its head, in the walker's head, and he loses his knife, unfortunately. So he does not have time to get it back because he sees that more walkers are coming. So I succeed in the stealth and in the mobility check, meaning that Brandon and Anne were able to escape these walkers and move to another location. So I would say that is now um, afternoon with these things that happen to him. So he will be able to move one more hex, or actually square, and maybe he will need to rest after this or in this square. So let's move south again, and first let's roll to see the encounter. So let's roll. No sixes, great, no encounter. Let's see what kind of ruins we have. Session ruins row. An opening into the ground, perhaps a subway station. So this is what he sees. Let's roll the threat level. Threat level. Where's the threat level? Oh, it's here. Threat level. Whoa, 6. Okay, so meaning that we have a swarm. So it's the same threat level as the square before. We have a swarm of about 11 to 20 walkers, and there is this hole to the subway line or underground. And what I think is, let's see. First, let's see if I can see the walkers. But I'm going to roll my scout roll, and I have two successes. Great. So meaning that I can see the walkers. Brandon sees the walkers, and I would say that he sees that it's good maybe if he goes through the underground. Does it make sense? I wouldn't say so, but it's a swarm of about 20 walkers, so it's a lot of walkers. Let me ask the oracle: is the underground a good option? And let's see. Extremely yes. Yes. So although it might be dark, it seems to be the best option to go through this hole in the ground and follow the underground trail, maybe. So this is what he do. And as I had two successes, I would get a +1 bonus on my stealth check, because I would need to use these in order to be able to move on without being noticed. And this is great because I have another 2 successes. And as I said that I need to find a place to sleep, I would say that I go to the underground, and it's a safe place, and Brandon can rest. So he finds maybe um, a safe spot, and he puts his sister there to sleep. He's able to, with these 2 successes, he's able to um, find a safe place for them to sleep the whole night. And this is day 1. So I'm going to stop here. I hope you like it, and let's see what happens in the next session. See you. Bye bye.